How to make a good sequel. I know it's extremely prevalent in the Hollywood industry where we're receiving more sequels to some of the more wider mainstream franchises, and mainly with the superhero movies. Agree with the production of these movies or not, you have to at least admit they are some of the most successful when it comes to box office results. And I know because I'm part of the smaller fraction of the equation that helps these movies out. Regardless of the numbers that some of the sequels bring in, there's always something to ask whenever a sequel is being made, and that question is, will it introduce something new and fresh? I don't mind when announcements are being made by a studio confirming the sequel of a previously successful movie. In fact, I actually really like sequels. Only, this is a really big fat only when they're done right by expanding the universe when introducing something new and fresh, or diving deeper into themes its successor brings up. One of the better examples of a sequel is The Empire Strikes Back, where the movie takes our heroes into places that test their morality when at the forefront of a terrible evil that stands in front of them. Blade Runner 2049 expands on what it means to be human and asking the question of what one perceives to be real or not. All of these sequel movies test the main character's moral dilemmas on what was established previously and progressively evolving them throughout the movie. And of course, some of my personal aspects on why I love a sequel, and that's the expansion of the universe, like places we haven't seen before, which gives a chance for creative teams such as production designers to really shine by helping bring these worlds to life through their creations. Those are only just like a few reasons on how some of the movies I mentioned before stand the test of time. Now you have sequels that try to do that, but in the long run, they kind of end up failing. For example, you have Predator 2. It takes the Predator on a killing spree in Manhattan. It's a very much different setting as opposed to the jungle in 1987. Yeah, no shit. Thing is, you can actually do a lot with expanding the Predator franchise, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon. Oh, and a quick note, I actually really like the expansion when it comes to like the Adrian Brody Predators movie. I thought that was really cool. But all the choices with making it merge with the equally successful Alien franchise and making a 15-foot tall hybrid Predator isn't exactly the best ways to go about it. And another movie you have is Grease 2, and it takes place a couple years after the original. It does its best to focus on the main characters, but some of the problems lie with the repetitiveness of the original. We still have the T-Birds and the Pink Ladies, but still takes place in the same high school, and the creative choices of having some of the new characters relate to the original characters. No amount of well-choreographed dance sequences and original songs could have made up for how poorly received this film was, which brings up the idea of how incredibly difficult it is to make a successful and well-made movie musical. For example, Mary Poppins Returns. This film has the Grease 2 effect, which, yes, you have original songs, well-choreographed dance sequences, and interesting set designs, but the movie doesn't really add too much memorable aspects to some of the characters or expand its universe all too well. And no disrespect for anybody who likes Grease 2. I know a couple people who do like Grease 2, so no disrespect to any of you guys. One movie musical in the works that has potential of doing something different is Frozen 2. In my personal preference, I'm not a big fan of the original. In fact, I can't really stand Frozen 1, but I do respect the quality of animation that was brought forth, you know, the engine that they've created to help the snow feel more fluid and really lifelike. Whereas we are undoubtedly receiving much more advanced animation, the new trailer hints at an expansion of its universe and a possibility of certain characters being split up, resulting in possible character developments. If Frozen 2 ends up being just that, it's already on the road of becoming one of the best movie musicals. And it also helps with it being an animation since the possibilities are endless when dealing with either hand-drawn or computer animated characters. On the contrary, it's also extremely risky on making a sequel to a previously beloved movie. And due to some extended research that I've done on the internet, I am so glad that some of these sequel movies have never been made. There were actually plans for a Mrs. Doubtfire 2 to be made, but due to the untimely death of Robin Williams, it resulted in the sequel being permanently shelved. The reason Mrs. Doubtfire existed in the first place, since it was released during a time where divorce rates were high in America and has a single father try to see his kids more often. Very unsure how they were gonna build off of that in the sequel. There was even plans for a Gladiator 2, and spoiler warning for those who haven't seen Gladiator, click off this video, go watch Gladiator, or if you don't really care, just stick around. Basically, the whole idea was that Maximus visits purgatory, he encounters a couple Greek gods, and they order him to go back to Earth and kill Jesus. That was Gladiator 2. Even at one point, The Empire Strikes Back wasn't supposed to be The Empire Strikes Back. In the early process before the huge success of Star Wars, George Lucas had the idea of having Luke and Leia venture into a swamp-like planet throughout the entirety of the movie. Fortunately, that was turned into a comic book and we got Empire instead. In retrospect, it's hard to create sequels without ruining the legacy of its original or predecessor and making a movie all audiences can enjoy. But overall, what makes a good sequel? Or how can you make a good sequel? Refrain from rehashing the same movie previously and go for something different. If not, go for an expansion of the universe and place the main characters in a trial by fire scenario, testing their beliefs set up in the previous movie. A clear and thought out vision from the filmmakers shows the audience that the teams behind the sequel will do their best to make something worth discussing. Have an idea become intriguing just by giving a 3-sentence summary of the synopsis. Some audiences will look at sequels as corporate cash grabs, and there's really nothing that you can do to stop them from believing that. Unless maybe they go see the movie. To all the future filmmakers, take this into consideration, and I wish you the best of luck in creating the best sequel for a possible studio, for the audience, and yourself. Good luck. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it's been a long time since I've shown up on camera, so this is a little bit weird for me, but I plan on making videos similar to this one later in the future, and actually I'm trying to go for a set schedule on this channel, believe it or not. I plan on releasing videos on a Monday, and I also plan on a Wednesday or Thursday release. I'm probably gonna go for a Thursday because that's my day off, and gonna do a quickie movie review on movies that I have a lot to say about, either on a Saturday or Sunday. Or you might get more than one quickie movie review because there's actually a lot of movies coming out in 2019. And it's been a while since I've tackled consistency on this channel. I really do thank you guys for sticking around here. But yeah, I plan on doing it full force. Lots of hard work, lots of dedication. I'm really looking forward to some of these videos I have planned out. I have a whole month of videos just planned out. The problem is actually doing them. But yeah, but thank you guys very much. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.